Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for my presentation. I really appreciate it. I know there's a lot of different ones to choose from, so I appreciate your time and you spending it with me. So this is Transforming Your Members, if you're in the right place, and if you're wondering about that. And it's all about transformational leadership, and the way that we as student leaders can use our influence to engage and motivate our organizational members to achieve the best possible versions of themselves, so that we are better able to achieve our organizational goals. So that's what this is about. So if you don't like it, just bounce right out. I have no hard feelings whatsoever. And a little bit of background, I'm a housing kid. I come from housing. If any of y'all are familiar with NACUR, the National Association of College and University Residence Halls, I presented this program at the last 2 years' conferences, and that's where it goes. But yeah. So a little bit more about me, and this is interesting because I had to send this to myself, so it no longer I don't click and then it appears. So we'll see what happens. So who am I? My name is Hayden Tanave. My preferred gender pronouns are he, him, and his. I was a junior in the class 2018, but now I am a rising senior. I'm a management major within the business school at LMU. I attend LMU, and my top 5 strengths from StrengthsFinder are deemed competition, achiever, maximizer, strategic, and activator. I currently serve, well I am going to serve, but I guess my term already started, as our student body president for the Associated Students of Loyola Marymount University. I am in the Magis Service Organization, which Magis is a super consistent term at all the Jesuit schools. So Magis is an all-male service organization that stimulates awareness for social justice issues in regard to homelessness and education. And this is my second NJSLC conference. And that is a picture of me with an all-new flag on my back. Cool. So how much does a polar bear weigh? Anyone? Enough to break the ice. So what we're going to do, we have an icebreaker here, and I usually leave it up to y'all. I think one might be a little bit of a better fit right now, just because it's still the morning. We're just getting our energy up. So I have kind of a get to know you, which might be an interesting one with this many people, but I also have an energizer, which might be vital to this time of day. So what do y'all think?
What energizer?
The energizer is more like upbeat, let's get ready for the rest of the session, and then get to know you is let's get to know each other a little better.
You obviously are inclined towards the energizer.
I think it might be a nice time of day to do that. So y'all do me a favor, if you're able-bodied and able to, stand up and make the room around you. And if you want to get into the aisle, that's probably even better. But if you have space, feel free. Cool, so you're going to love me or hate me after this, but this is a repeat after me song. How many of y'all have done a repeat after me song? Cool, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to say as I say, and you're going to do as I do. That's usually a test, because some people say you're going to say as I say and do as I do. So we're just going to start right now. Cool, so I'll do something, I'll point back at y'all, and then just throw it right back at me. Cool?
Cool.
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 It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
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 See the surfers on their surfboards.
See the surfers on their surfboards.
Da 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 da. It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
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 See the swimmers in the water.
See the swimmers in the water.
Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da.
Swimmy, 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 swim. Swimmy, 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 swim.
Da 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 da. It's a 60s party from the 60s movie.
It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
See the tanners on their towels.
See the tanners on their towels.
Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch. Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da.
Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch.
Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da. It's a 60s party from a 60s movie.
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 See the lifeguard on that tower.
See
that specific tower. Flexi, 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 flex, flexi, 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 flex. Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch. Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da. Flexi, 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 flex, flexi, 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 flex. Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch. Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da. One more. It's a 65. It's a 65 movie. It's a 65 from a Simpsons movie. It's a 65 from a Simpsons movie. See the starfish on that rock. See the starfish on that rock. Flexi, 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 flex, flexi, 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 flex. Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch. Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da. Flexi, 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 flex, flexi, 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 flex. Ouchie, 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 ouch, ouchie, 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 ouch. Swimmy, 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 swim, swimmy, 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 swim. Da 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 da. Thank you. Yeah, that's sure. Got your calories in. How many of y'all went to yoga this morning? See, you're welcome. Y'all are exercising for the day. Cool. So at this point, let's take a second to all catch our breath. It's an interesting time because I always try to catch my breath at this point, and it'll catch with me for the rest of the presentation. So there's that. But thank you all for participating in that with me. Let's see what the next slide is. I'm also going back and forth between these two because this one has the presenter view. Cool. So as leaders, excuse me, we often make decisions, right? And we have to be in positions to make decisions. So with something as little as an icebreaker, making decisions has to be very intentional. So what does choosing an icebreaker like this, like an energizer, say about the person leading the room or the leader in that position? So what does this icebreaker say possibly about my leadership style? I'll take volunteers.
That you're confident.
Confident. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Do you like other people to be as excited as you are?
thank you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Fun leadership style.
Thank you. Cool. So the reason why I love this icebreaker and why I chose this one specifically for this presentation is because this is all about engaging your members and empowering them to be the best possible versions of themselves. By putting yourself out there in a position where you're able to energize others, you're able to help them reach their full fulfillment and also get them up and excited to be there with you. That's what this is about. And this is what the rest of the presentation is going to be like. Not like all like up and down, but like, you know what I mean, along those lines of transformational leadership. Cool, so learning outcomes, because I was once told this is a very Jesuit thing to do, and especially being at NJSLC, I think it's super fitting. So talking about the educational process, let's popcorn these a bit maybe. Anyone want to read the first? Yeah.
Identify the correlation between management and leadership.
Thank you. Yes.
Recognize the qualities of an effective leader.
Yes, it's important to be able to recognize before we can start learning how and ways that we can better engage with the transformative process. Anyone next? Yeah.
Understand the definition of transformational leadership.
Thank you. And yeah, it's a complex one. It's super long, and we're going to get to it. And there's a lot of interesting things about it. And again, with recognizing it and understanding it, we can then go forth and not only set the world on fire, but also learn ways to enhance the transformative process. Lastly. Anyone? Yeah.
Learn tactics that can help you become a transformational leader.
Yeah, and that's one of the best things about a workshop, right? Getting those skills and walking away with tangible items to take back to your campus so that you're able to, again, go forth and set the world on fire. Excuse me, I just love Jesuit buzzwords and things of that nature, so it's a place to be. Cool, so overview, comparing management and leadership. That was one of the learning outcomes, and all the learning outcomes kind of like have a slide like this, so that's just for consistency moving forward. So like I said in my first slide, I'm a business major, so we have business curriculum. With that, are there any other business majors in the room? Cool. Yeah, so we have to take things from accounting, finance, marketing, all the broad range of different business courses to be well versed in all of them. And I had the opportunity to take a management class during my sophomore year, which is actually now my major. So how many of y'all have ever done a project where you absolutely loved it and then you started learning more about it on your own time because it was so interesting to you? Does anyone have that experience? Yeah, so this was this for me. So I did a project during my sophomore year on transformational leadership, and it was one of those things where months after I was still researching about the topic, researching on ways that it impacted me and then can also impact the world around us. So what I realized about transformational leadership is it would not only help me with my management major and hopefully my potential career, but also as student leaders, very relevant here in this realm and how we're able to navigate that process. So I very much equate management with leadership, and that's how I arrived at this presentation today. And we always talk about the educational whole person, right? And what that means, and really treating the world as an extension of the academic classroom, encouraging learning and being able to inform our experiences in both places. So that's how I arrived here. So what is management? And I promise we will stray away from definitions very soon. So, management. Human resource management refers to the policies, practices, and systems that influence employees' behavior, attitudes, and performance. Many companies refer to HRM as involving people practices. And in true college student fashion, I cited my source. That's my management textbook. No MLA or APA here. Cool, so I'm gonna let that soak in for a second. Cool. Next. So what is leadership? Leadership is defined as the use of power and influence to direct the activities of followers toward goal achievement. I will let that one soak in as well. Nice. So did anyone notice any similarities between these definitions that would like to share? I can also go back. Leadership, I can. And then just for good measure, again, my management textbook. If anyone would like to send you a copy, it's like a lot of pages. And it's one of those ones that like your school like puts together this like list of like different like books and they make a bunch of different chapters. So I was like, I don't know how to cite this, so then I just did it like that. Cool. So did anyone notice any similarities? I saw a hand there.
I was gonna say like there's somewhat of a somewhat of like a goal in mind.
Yeah.
So with both just being a member, you want to work towards that goal, but as a leader, you want to lead those to achieve that goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. It's like achieving the goal, getting something done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I noticed that both involves people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People practices are big there. Yeah. Good catch. Anyone else? Yeah.
You don't wanna be like forcing, you wanna be like letting them have more power.
Definitely. Yeah. How you're able to kind of delegate and then give them, I see you, I hear you, you matter. Here's how we do it together. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's like creating that culture that, so everybody's working collaboratively,
Mhm.
going towards the same thing.
Yeah. Collaborative nature. Absolutely. So, people practices, goal achievement, how we're able to engage, empower, make it fun. So some similarities here as a broad overview that condensed. So they both provide direction, right? Management in the form of policy, systems, and procedures, and leadership in the form of power. And power doesn't always necessarily mean like, oh, I'm in charge of you, there's a hierarchy there. But power in a way that you are able to use your position to, again, empower those to also reach that same level. And then you're also working towards something, right? So toward goal achievement. Management in the form of behavior, attitudes, and performance, and leadership is goal achievement. But there's one biggest thing that was similar between both versions. It's actually one word. It's influence, right? So influence, and that's the overarching theme of this entire presentation, and that is also the overarching theme of transformational leadership, as well as transforming members. And it's how we can also improve our effectiveness as a leader. Transformational leadership, the way that we can use our influence as student leaders to better engage and empower our organizational members. whatever organization that may be. Cool. Effective leadership. What does an effective leader look like? What are some words that define an effective leader? Just throw them out there. Anyone? Yeah. Ooh,
I'll say positive.
positive. Thank you.
Good communication.
Good communication.
Good listener.
Good listener.
Empowering,
I'm sorry?
empowering,
Empowering. Yeah.
Observant.
Observant.
Open-minded.
Open-minded. Yeah.
Passionate.
Passionate. Cool. These are all great words. And kind of looking at, again, like a broad overview of how to kind of condense all of those down. So looking through not only my textbook, but with a bunch of different research, looking what are the most effective qualities of a leader, and they're defined kind of by these two things. So they demonstrate exemplary day-to-day leadership behavior. And they also possess the right decision-making style for the respective organization. Super exciting, I know. So by describing decision-making styles and the way that you're able to exemplary leadership, all that stuff, we're covering a broad range of what it is that student leaders do. But still, there's something missing there. So if y'all want to do me a favor, if you want to take out a piece of paper, and I also have here some out of this notebook if you need one. What we're going to do now, we're going to each jot down maybe 3 to 5 different names of people in your life who are synonymous with effective leadership. That could be your advisor, that could be Abraham Lincoln, that could be anyone of that sort, someone who inspires you and made you feel some type of way. Cool, does anyone need paper? Yeah, absolutely, you can write on your phones too.
Oh,
Let's try my whole table real quick and stop
Any questions?
Is it someone that you like personally know?
It could be. Yeah, so
Or could it be like,
it could be president,
okay,
it could
okay.
be your advisor, your mom,
Yeah.
dad, caretaker. If we get 30 seconds. I should have put on mood music too, like a waterfall or something. I don't know. I might end up doing this. Cool. Thumbs up for done. Nice. Anyone need more time? Fantastic. So once y'all have your list, does anyone want to share someone on their list and why they may be listing them? Yeah.
This is my first year. I went and joined an Urban Beats hip hop dance group, my team. Not really much of a freestyle dancer, but this leader, her name is Alyssa Tripp. She was very welcoming, and the amount of atmosphere and energy she had was relatively consistent. So to me, it was really positive that she led by example, that she wanted to really bring the best out of you. She says her motto, I think, was like everyone can dance. So that was something that really empowered everyone. She would pull when needed, and she would really take criticism. She'd like write everything down because she wants to see the program and what she's passionate about for it. So for that reason, I chose her.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Mine's really corny, but Bernie Sanders. I know, whether or not you agree with his politics or, programs or whatever, the thing I really liked about the man is he was very inspiring to me. And before he came front and center in the last election, I didn't really think about the political process. I didn't really think my vote was that important. I still voted in other ones.